Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your August 2023 reading. As I'm shuffling your cards, I just wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I'm doing this reading from, the Gumbaynggirr people, and recognize their continued connection to their lands and waters and their culture. And I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. So let's open up the reading with this card here. Christmas Beetle, creative inspiration. This is a powerful card to start the reading with. We do have, it is Leo season as we're opening up the month, and we also have the Venus retrograde in Leo as well. Okay, and so that started on July the 23rd and it will go until September 4th. And that is activating this strong sense of creativity, this creative inspiration coming through very strongly for you. Leo represents your 9th house, and that's your house of expansion. It's your house of your mindset and your mental, the meaning that you apply to your life and to your world. And so with this inspiration, this creative inspiration, you may be shifting, you may be feeling this encouragement, this easy, gentle encouragement to shift your mindset into more of a creative mindset, more of a creative and inspired direction to go in. So your creativity and your creative passions, your creative pursuits, they're really the way that your soul speaks to you, the way that your soul wishes to be expressed through you. And at this time, you're being really encouraged to look at that. You may be able to utilize that in a way that can improve your life, to uplift your life, to enhance your life in some direction, to go in a way that you have never thought of before. The ninth house, is the house of our truth, and our wisdom and our faith. And so utilizing that creativity, utilizing whatever it is that is creative for you, to follow your faith, to use your wisdom. And the ninth house is also about gurus and teachers and mentors. So if you have a creative passion that you can teach, or you are looking for a creative mentor, you may find that you stumble across that this month, or this could be a direction to push for this month, especially with that Venus retrograde. I have made a separate video on the Venus retrograde and a tarot card reading for each individual sign that's specifically designed for how to utilize the Venus retrograde energy to your advantage, how to maximize your potential with that energy. So I highly recommend you go over there and watch that. It'll be really important and helpful for you this time. We have the Death card, Six of Cups, and Four of Coins. So with this planet, with Venus in retrograde, we're in retrograde season, and Venus is retrograde right now. And then on August the 24th, Mercury will move retrograde as well in Virgo, okay? Virgo representing your 10th house. So this is going to be another significant transit. Again, I've done a separate video that I'll release close to August 24th, and that's got an individual tarot card reading that will tell you how to utilize that energy as well to your maximum potential. But what happens when we have these two really personal planets in retrograde at the same time, as well as a lot of the outer planets in retrograde at the same time? It is a really powerful time to do this self-inventory, to do this inner work, to look at your inner dialogue, your inner thought habits, your inner emotional habits, your automatic processes, your automatic behaviors and reactions, and decide what is supportive and what is not, and change the things that are not supportive and not conducive towards the life direction that you're heading, towards this creative direction that you're going in. So that can come to an end at this time. It could come to an end through your own efforts, through your own conscious awareness, or it can come to an end through universal push, the universal flow and push towards a new direction. So embracing those endings, I let go and embrace new beginnings, and through that you do that through a level of acceptance of where you're at this time. So if you're feeling quite uncomfortable throughout August, there's something you're resisting. Four of Coins, you're resisting and trying to keep yourself safe. So when we're in that space of needing to keep ourselves safe, that means that we are in that fight or flight mode. We're in that fearful response, and we limit our energy and our capacity to be creative. So when we're in fight or flight, we shut down our heart center and we move our energy out of there and into into the set space where we need to be safe, and we narrow our focus, looking for dangers, looking for things that we need to protect ourselves from, and we have no ability to tap into our creative energy. It requires a calm and coherent system to be able to be creative, to have an open heart and a coherent mind in order for you to be creative. So if you're feeling very stressed, if you're feeling very upset about something that's ending, something that's coming to an end, looking at that and looking at opening your heart and accepting where you're at this time, noticing where you are safe and looking and seeking out ways that you can make yourself feel safe. This can be coming from the past. So when we're having an emotional response like that, a negative emotional response, we are moving our system, we're moving our consciousness into the past, Six of Cups. And things from the past come up. Of course, with retrograde energy, things from the past comes up anyway. But when we have that emotional response that isn't conducive to the situation we're in, that means that we're triggering something from the past. We're literally living in the past. So this time period throughout August and September, we're really looking at uplifting our thoughts and our emotions and our actions out of the past experiences that we've lived in and moving forward with an open heart so we can be creative, so we can be creative beings. We have Ace of Wands and Nine of Wands. So with the Ace of Wands, that's what I've been talking about with this creative inspiration. You may get a surge of creative inspiration throughout this month with these two cards here. It could be creativity that you have you've utilized in the past, in past experiences in childhood, or it could come from that playful energy, Six of Cups. Leo is a very playful, childlike sign. So whenever Leo energy is activated in this way, it is encouraging you to tap into that aspect of yourself, that playful aspect of yourself. That's where we get this passion from. That's where we get this inspiration from. That's where we get this creativity, these things that light us up and light us on fire. With the ninth house in this position where it is for you, Sagittarius, this is about getting your mindset right. It's about applying meaning to life and engaging with life through that creative mindset, through that passionate, playful, childlike exuberance, and actually creating a mindset that is automatic in that way so that you're operating from that place every single day and moving into that every single day, because there is this feeling, I really do feel like there's this need to protect yourself. So there's like two things going on here for you. There's this openness that's coming in, this encouragement to be creative, to open your heart, to follow your dreams, follow your passions, follow what your soul's calling you towards. And then there's also on this flip side, this feeling of needing to protect yourself, needing to keep yourself safe, needing to keep your heart closed off because of past experiences that have made you feel unsafe. So this is the battle. This is the work for you, Sagittarius, throughout August to do this work. And we have the Three of Swords. So yeah, that's that separation. Like I said, there's these two components of you. And so there's this separation between this Ace of Wands passion and this Nine of Wands protection, this really protective energy. The Nine of Wands also has a perseverance about it. It's like you're never giving up. When the Nine of Wands are there, it's like you have battled through so much. There's so much that's happened. But with the Death card, that's over now, Sagittarius. That's ended now, and there's no need to keep holding up that barrier, keep holding up that boundary. It's now time to open your heart and to stop struggling and stop fighting to try and keep yourself safe, because we've got the Ace of Coins on the bottom of the deck. That means that there is a brand new opportunity here for you. I love that with the Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Virgo season starts on August 23rd, so we start this kind of at the end of the month and into September. That's your 10th house. So this is looking at your career. It's looking at your life goals. It's looking at your major goals for yourself. It's looking at your levels of success and achievement and fulfillment and purpose. So anything, it doesn't have to be your career. It can be any of your major goals around that. That's what you're really starting to tap into at the end of the month. And there's an opportunity, Ace of Coins, for something new to grow in that area, something new to come up for you. But it's about working through these two polar energies, right? That is keeping you separated. Three of Swords, keeping you separated from yourself, from your passions, from your dreams, from your authentic alignment with who you really are at this time. Whenever we're in this state of fear, we are always in this Three of Swords energy, this separation energy. And separation is not actually real. Separation is the feeling and the sensation of cutting ourselves off from our inner being. We are always connected. We are always aligned with our inner being. We're always connected to our inner being that never goes away. But when we think thoughts and we feel emotions that are not in alignment with our inner being, so thoughts and emotions that we're in danger, that we need to keep ourselves safe, that we need to protect ourselves, they create this separation. And the more that this feeling of separation, they create this misalignment. And the more misaligned you are from your inner being, the more that sensation of separation feels, the stronger it feels. And that's where this Three of Swords comes in, okay? So it's time to look at that feeling of separation and recognize that you're separating through denying your creativity. So these cards are what are going to be reflected to you throughout the month of August through your environment. So we have spiritual healing, and clearing. So I love that with the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is a very clearing energy, okay? It's like cutting, it's like a severing energy, that separation energy, which, like I said, if you're separating and you're severing yourself from your alignment with your inner being, that's a really painful experience. But if you're separating and severing yourself from something, if you're ending something that is not serving your expansion, it's not serving your growth, it's keeping you blocked from your creativity, then that's actually clearing, that you're clearing the way. So really looking at your motivation is what I'm hearing for you, Sagittarius. When you have thoughts, when you have emotions, when you have actions, spend the month of August looking at what your motivations are behind that. Why are you doing those things? Why are you thinking those thoughts? Is it coming from a perspective of protection, fear? That's a fear, that these two cards here, that they're a fear response. I need to keep myself safe. I'm not safe. That's scary. It's fearful. And you will not find your inner being residing in that energy. You're cutting yourself off from that experience of love and joy and harmony and ease and creativity. So that needs to be cleared out. And if you are actively consciously aware of and taking action towards clearing for the sake of becoming more in alignment with your inner being, that's going to be reflected back to you in your environment. So you can look around at your environment, you can look at your experiences that come up for you throughout August, and you will be able to identify that, where your motivation is coming from and what you're actually doing. Because it could look like the same thing. You could be taking the same action for two very different reasons. And what's important is not the action, but the motivation, the intention behind it, because that is influencing your state of being. There is this opportunity for spiritual healing. Everyone is receiving that opportunity at this time. It's the Mercury, it's the retrograde season, and a very, very strong Venus retrograde, trying to open our heart space. So how you engage in that energy, how you engage in that spiritual healing energy will be reflected back to you in your environment. So if you're experiencing discomfort, if you're having negative experiences throughout August, look at your spiritual healing, look at how you're going on that continuum, on that track, and recognize that is what's being reflected to you. But if you're having a really beautiful month, really positive experience, then you'll notice that you are advancing in your spiritual healing, that you're growing and expanding in that way. So there is a need to surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. So if you're feeling rushed, if you're feeling the need for protecting yourself, you're feeling that fearful response that comes in, that survival response, survival mode, nature is your friend. Surrender to the beauty of nature, meaning actually stopping, if you're out in nature, actually stopping and taking that time to bring your awareness to how beautiful it is, to bring your awareness to the nature around you. That brings you into the here and now, which is where you are the most powerful in terms of taking action to improve your life. So that's one really effective, really easy way that you can do that, but also recognizing, and what I'm hearing for you is that if you're feeling like you don't have enough time to sit in nature, enough time to just be in nature, that push of action is not going to be successful during this time. We're in retrograde period. that push isn't going to work. So recognizing where you're doing that and noticing that that is actually a sign that you're out of alignment. And we have respect your inner cycles and honor them as your healing journey, on your healing journey. And practice speaking positively about other people and events, and especially the future. So this is basically sums up the entire reading that I've given you. But yes, like really looking at the future in that positive light and speaking positively about it, coming from the heart space. When we're speaking in a space of needing to protect ourselves, needing to keep ourselves safe, we continue to manifest situations that are unsafe, that feel scary, that feel too big for us. And so practicing changing that inner dialogue. This is what the Mercury retrograde is all about. And I highly recommend you watch my Mercury retrograde video when it's released, because it's all about changing that inner dialogue, changing that automatic thinking, that automatic processing in terms of uplifting it and bringing more positivity, so it becomes habitual, that habitual positive thinking, especially about your future, because that is how we open our heart and draw in and magnetize ourselves to what we're trying to create. Now, this respect your inner cycles and honor them on your healing journey has come up for almost every single sign. Not kidding you. Look how many cards are in the deck, and this one's come up almost every reading I've done for this month. So this is a really pivotal moment for everybody. And I think what's happening is, because it's a retrograde energy, it feels like we're not really moving, because we're having to go internal. We're having to do the work on the inside. And so there's not really much going on in the environment and much going on in the external. And we start doing this work and we look around in an environment and we don't see a difference. It can be easy to fall off the horse. It can be easy to be like, well, this doesn't work, or it's not happening for me, or I'm not good at this, or whatever it is. But recognizing there's like a period of time that it takes to create. There's a period of time that you need to build momentum. And this is part of the cycle, this ebb and flow of life. And we're in the ebb at this time. We're in that time of drawing inwards and going internal. And although you're working on very external houses, your 10th and 11th house, your 9th and 10th house are external houses. They're about the external world. So it may feel like that a bit conflicting, because you're working on that external stuff, but you're doing it from the internal. We're creating first on the inside and then on the outside. And this is that time to create the vision on the inside, to create the creativity on the inside. And then as you move through the rest of the year, October particularly, November, we'll start to see it more in reality, start to see it coming through more in your experience. So that is your reading, Sagittarius, for August, and I really hope this was beneficial for you. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey. Please do subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I release that Mercury retrograde video. Also, I'll link the Venus retrograde video down below if you want to go and watch that. And yeah, have a really beautiful August, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Take care.